a vehicle with a cage containing a large goat inside, serving as a motor that propels the vehicle. The operator sits on a high seat above the cage to drive the vehicle. A HAL Chetak helicopter of the Indian Air Force was disguised as an elephant for Republic Day parades in New Delhi, with fabric, body, and legs handcrafted over 2-3 weeks to create the elephant shape. A nurse shows a polio patient a newspaper about polio vaccine success. The patient lies in a portable ventilator, small iron lung, aiding breathing for polio care. Soldier beside huge piles of 105mm shells fired in one day by Allied forces at German lines. Dumps along front roads show devastating W1 artillery firepower. Miners crowded in open cage lift at Belgian coal mine, faces covered in coal dust. They worked in harsh, dangerous conditions with rough, unsafe transport. A female singer is performing in distinctive attire, commonly seen in nightclubs or music lounges in Old Saigon, South Vietnam, accompanied by a band featuring piano and guitar. Chorus girls rehearse leg exercises, with legs raised against a wall beneath rows of dumbbells during dance training. 1930s to 1940s. The United States-Mexico border. A tense yet peaceful moment between the armies of the two nations at the border amid conflict. Plague doctors wore bird-beak masks filled with herbs and waxed robes, gloves, boots, and hats to shield themselves from disease and flea-carrying bacteria. Public men's restrooms in Paris were installed to improve sanitation and reduce public urination on streets and buildings in the city. British Lanchester armored cars disguised as animals in India and Burma to deceive enemy forces and hide real military equipment during Wuyi. A 1920s radio control room with large parallel vacuum tubes, similar to amplifiers used for remote radio broadcasts before external anode tubes existed. Backstage at a New York nightclub, a performer prepares to go on stage wearing a costume with a bird cage and stuffed birds attached to the back. A British family going for a ride on a motorcycle, with a child sitting in a small rear basket without a seat belt. A man is sitting beside his truck loaded with old tires, yet the truck itself has a flat tire. Texas, a classic example of ironic fate. A bandy match, a type of outdoor ice hockey played in Sweden. During the game, the ice on the lake cracked, causing several players to fall into the freezing water. Yet the match continued. Hell's Angels members in Canada before the Lennoxville Purge, where 5 members were killed by fellow bikers during internal disputes over gang expansion. 2 young children in astronaut costumes stand beside bounce balls known as space hoppers in Glasgow, with apartment blocks in the background. Woman protests bikinis at crowded Daytona Beach spring break, reflecting tensions between changing beach culture and conservative religious activists. A car sleeping bed accessory let passengers lie comfortably inside the vehicle during long trips, while another person handled the driving. During the Great Flood of Paris, a man watches rising waters swallow the ground floor of a restaurant at 136 Quai d'Auteuil from a balcony above. A patient undergoing heat therapy, surrounded by a device with heating elements directed toward the body. A 24-hour worm vending machine near fishing spots gave anglers easy access to live bait anytime, making fishing supplies more convenient. A Paris dinner honored severely disfigured W1 French veterans, known as the Broken Faces. survivors scarred by trench warfare and artillery fire. A man poses affectionately with a small donkey on his lap, while the caption "Rockabye Baby" humorously references the famous lullaby. Don Adams became famous as Maxwell Smart in Get Smart, where he used the iconic shoe phone to contact control. Shepherd with sheep in Kuwait during Gulf War, amid burning oil wells set by retreating Iraqi forces, whose smoke blocked sunlight and darkened the sky. A stunt performance by the Gymkhana Troupe at the University of Maryland, involving jumping over the heads of 6 people. Bald men served as lipstick testers, with women kissing their faces to test durability, color, and smudge resistance, using their smooth skin for accurate cosmetic evaluation. French W1 trench raider, with early gas mask and close combat weapons, operating in small night groups to infiltrate enemy trenches and launch surprise attacks. Tokyo subway Oshiya push passengers into packed trains to close doors and keep schedules during rush hour, Japan. Barrage balloons raised steel cables to form aerial barriers protecting cities like London in W1, forcing enemy aircraft higher and reducing bombing accuracy. Children in Sao Paulo line up on a windowsill to watch TV through a neighbor's window, showing curiosity, innocence, and excitement about discovering the world. 2 women wearing striped jumpsuits are riding bicycles, commonly known as biker girls. This is part of an editorial fashion photo series published in Vogue Paris. Sean Connery competed at Mr. Universe 1953 at age 23, representing Scotland and placing 3rd in the junior category. The storefront of Gucci on 5th Avenue in New York. Cell Block A at Alcatraz Prison in California features iron bars, key-locked cells, and spiral staircases, reflecting the facility's stark security design. People drinking water from a public fountain in Rome. A victim falling from the North Tower of the World Trade Center, WTC, during the terrorist attacks. An elderly woman, a refugee fleeing a war zone during World War I, rests on a bench with her cow in the city of Amiens, France, possibly the last possession she has left. The lives of poor children in the Bow District, who were cared for by the East London Women's League during World War I. Barney Google restaurant in New York used waitresses' bodies as menus in a bold advertising stunt, designed to attract public attention and customers. A pioneer sits beside a small house with his loyal dog in an early settlement of adobe brick buildings, in what would later become the entertainment hub of Las Vegas, Nevada. A motel manager poured acid into a whites-only pool to force out black and white protesters swimming inside during a civil rights protest. The Black Panther Party's 1969 free breakfast program fed children before school and helped inspire the U.S. government's Brent's permanent school breakfast program in 1975. This is an early Apple II home computer system with a monitor and a floppy disk drive. The complete setup typically included a monitor, a floppy disk drive, and a printer. A teacher points with a ruler at a blackboard, showing multiplication tables from 2x to 13x. 4 boys attentively watch the lesson in a classroom in the United States. Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon in Apollo 11, sits inside the lunar module after his historic July 20, 1969 moonwalk. The Beatles returned to London after backlash in the Philippines, facing chaotic crowds, with John Lennon nearly knocked down. a mosaic depicting a chained dog with the Latin inscription Cave Canem, meaning "Beware of the dog," at the entrance of the House of the Tragic Poet in Pompeii, Italy. Nellie Diener, Europe's first flight attendant with Swissair, stands by a Curtiss T-32 Condor II at Berlin Tempelhof, the first European aircraft with cabin crew. The principal of Rickards High School, checking the length of a female student's skirt in Tallahassee, Florida, as part of strict dress code enforcement at a school in the United States. A streamlined Class 61 steam locomotive led a unique German express train, showcasing early aerodynamic design in rail transport. A boy plays beside the newly built Berlin Wall, while East Berlin shows anti-tank barriers and guards, reflecting the tense early days of the Cold War divide. A mother and children walk through a dirty, narrow alley in Liverpool slums, showing harsh living conditions amid garbage, mud, and poor housing conditions. Over 100,000 women protested in Tehran after the 1979 revolution against mandatory hijab laws, demanding freedom of choice and gender equality. This Pepsi Cola vending machine typically sold a bottle or cup for 10 cents. Next to it is a cigarette vending machine, a common sight in public spaces. School computer lab with Atari 800 and Apple II machines. Atari systems paired with floppy drives and TV monitors for early classroom computing. A 450 kilograms fiberglass Brontosaurus was airlifted by helicopter over Boston as a promotional stunt for a Museum of Science dinosaur exhibition before landing. The woman in the photo is carefully inspecting a plaid dress displayed on a mannequin at a fashion display design studio. A London milkman continues his rounds through rubble after a Huawei air raid, while firefighters work in the background among destroyed buildings. An Ojibwe man spearfishing from a birchbark canoe on a Minnesota lake, demonstrating traditional indigenous fishing methods in the Great Lakes region. A Japanese couple taking a self-portrait in a mirror. The photographer used a large format camera mounted on a tripod and captured the image through a mirror reflection. A couple appears to watch Apollo 8 launch, but the rocket scene is composited behind them while they were originally viewing a museum painting. U.S. Coast Guard patrol vessel attacks a German submarine as a depth charge explodes on the surface, sinking the U-175 during the engagement. Marilyn Monroe films the famous subway grate scene in NYC as wind blows her dress upward during the 7-year itch. Hoover Dam construction used poured concrete in blocks to control heat and prevent cracking, showcasing a major U.S. infrastructure engineering project. A girl and her dog stand outside a London shop during woo-wee shortages, after a sign announces no dog biscuits are available due to wartime rationing. The office of Dr. Eduard Bloch in Linz, Austria, an Austrian Jewish physician known for having treated the family of Adolf Hitler. Sioux Camp, with traditional teepees before forced reservation life after Wounded Knee, showing indigenous housing made from hides stretched over wooden frames. Over 3,000 workers pose on the 60-story Chase Manhattan Bank Tower in NYC, highlighting the engineering achievement and labor behind the city's iconic skyline. Charles C. Ebbets photographs Rockefeller Plaza construction from the 69th floor, over 250 meters high, capturing workers on a New York skyscraper. Jesse Owens worked as a gas station attendant to fund for college before winning fame at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. An Austrian ex-powwow returns to Vienna from Soviet captivity on crutches, carrying a prosthetic leg, symbolizing the lasting physical and emotional scars of war. 3 acrobats perform a dangerous stunt on the Empire State Building 86th floor ledge in Manhattan, balancing at 320 meters without safety nets or harnesses. A family Hanukkah menorah sits on a windowsill in Kiel, Germany, facing a nearby building, flying a Nazi flag across the street, highlighting stark tension. French athlete Violette Morris and her girlfriend at the Les Monocles Club in Paris, a well-known safe haven for the lesbian community. German POWs watch Nazi concentration camp footage, their faces showing shock, horror, and anguish as they confront the atrocities committed by their regime. West Berliners lift babies over the Berlin Wall so East Berlin grandparents can see them after the 1961 walls split families, friends, and the city apart. A German ex-POW reunites with his daughter after Soviet captivity. She had not seen him since age 1 following his imprisonment at the end of WE. Norway's first banana import in Oslo, about 3,000 kilograms, marking the country's initial large-scale introduction of bananas to its market. First atomic bomb developed in the U.S. Manhattan Project was tested at Trinity in New Mexico, 1945, producing an explosion equal to about 18,000 tons of TNT. Anti-Vietnam War's protest around 1970, with Viva veterans and a banner reading, "We won't fight another rich man's war," opposing U.S. involvement in Vietnam. Kiss in full stage makeup and costumes sits on a Central Park bench, humorously contrasting with an elderly woman. A young girl is holding hands with a penguin while walking around the London Zoo. The girl in the photo has been identified as Binksy Stewart, a child actress of the time. 5-year-old David Hensley, wearing leg braces due to polio, collects street donations in North Carolina to help fund a new hospital for polio treatment. Children secretly prepare snowballs behind a Chicago police officer who stands unaware with back tag turned, creating a playful but risky and ironic scene. Alfred Hitchcock serves tea to MGM's Leo the Lion, the 7th and longest-lived version of the studio mascot. Highest U.S. banknote featuring Woodrow Wilson, used for Federal Reserve interbank transactions and not circulated to the general public. The 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt, rides a horse jumping a fence in Washington, D.C., reflecting his active lifestyle of outdoor sports and hunting. Brooklyn Bridge construction in 1877 saw major engineering feats, with at least 20 worker deaths and many cases of decompression sickness from underwater work. Robert Cornelius pioneers early photography in Philadelphia, taking a self-portrait by running into frame and holding still for minutes. Passengers relax in a luxury Canadian Pacific Railway carriage, reading newspapers or listening to radio, reflecting early modern travel and technology. Taylor and Wright stand inside an iceberg grotto during an expedition, with the Terra Nova visible offshore supplying the Antarctic exploration team. Long exposure photo of Paris Boulevard du Temple shows a busy street appearing empty, with only a shoe shiner and client visible due to motion blur. The head of the Statue of Liberty when it was exhibited at the 1878 Paris World's Fair, before being shipped to the United States. Harriet Tubman, African-American abolitionist and activist, at her home in Auburn, New York, noted for her historic role in ending slavery.